Hey, what's up guys, Gen Levitrius. Hope you're doing well today. Happy New Year to all my subscribers and followers and anyone else. Hope you guys are having a great new year. Starting out 2024 with a playthrough with Sweden, but gonna have a little bit of a twist on it. Teaming up with two of my followers on the channel to play a game of the Scandinavian Empire, where if you are playing as one of these countries and you ally up with one of the other two, that is Finland, Sweden, and Norway. That's who I'm talking about. Day one, nothing too special, but we'll show you just a little bit of the setup, maybe some pre-strategy and the layout of the players around us very specifically. So if you're playing as Sweden, you're obviously in the middle between Norway and Finland. The position is pretty good actually. This is one of those countries that's harder to get. It's pretty sought after, I would say, in a lot of maps if you're trying to join a map early. But Sweden is the hardest Scandinavian country, I would say, to get if you're really trying to focus and get that nation. So just a word of advice is try to find maps that don't have a lot of players in them for your best probability to get the country. Alright, so let's look into Sweden. As I always like to show you guys the different layouts of the cities if you're not familiar with the country whatsoever. At the bottom of the southern half, you're going to have a supply city, your lone fuel city. You're going to have another supply city in the southern central area. Your capital is Stockholm, which will be an electronics city. You have a component city here, your lone rare materials city, and then a secondary component city up here. So what's nice about Sweden is you have two supplies and two component cities. So of course those are the two most used resources. You do have some provinces that have other resources, like this island here. You can use this for fuel, and there's not really anything else actually. It kind of balances out though, because you have a lot of cities. Other nations, like you see here with Norway, he has a supplies province, a fuels province, and a electronics province. Somewhat levels out, but that's a general layout of your resources and where they're going to be at. Now of course a lot of enemies are going to want to come down here into the from the North Sea into here, and you got to protect these cities because that's a point of entry. And then coming up into here from Poland, and if Russia or Belarus are get on the coast here of Estonia, Lithuania, or Latvia, they can go across the waters here and get on their coastline. Other than that, if you're allies with Norway and Finland, you're actually pretty set land-wise. You just have to watch your beaches, especially here of Poland and Germany. They're really close to your most southern city here of Malmo. Sweden is a European Doctrine nation, so that's meaning if you want to follow the European Doctrine, you mainly want to focus on your mechanized infantry, and that's, you get that day one in your research if you want to research that. Of course, you don't have to follow doctrines at all. If you want to follow the game's recommendation, you do your mechanized infantry first. For your armored vehicles, the tank destroyer is available on day one, and then for your support, it's not available on day one, but it is suggested in the doctrine to use the mobile artillery. And then for your fighters, the strike fighter is available on day one. Mainly what you're looking at is a combination of mechanized infantry, tank destroyers, mobile artillery once it's available on day 3, and strike fighters. You have artillery that can move quickly with your mechanized infantry, and then you have an armored unit that is specialized for taking out other armored units. So it's kind of, think of it as a juggernaut in the sense of it can take a lot of hits. The hit points on mechanized infantry is more than the motorized infantry starting out and even going forth. Think of it that way if you want to go with that strategy. Everyone has their own strategy of what kind of stacks they want to build. For the purposes of this video, I'm actually going to follow the European Doctrine overall strategy as the Scandinavian Empire. You can go with a lot of different routes. You can go and attack the United Kingdom and Germany and down through Denmark and all that. You can focus more on Russia because you do have your ally, or if you are Finland, you're going to have a pretty decent border with Russia, and that's your only border. because if you're allies with these guys, you don't have to worry about Russia. Now for us specifically, we're actually attacking the Baltic states. Finland is already taking Estonia. I've landed and taken Riga from Latvia. And then down here in Lithuania, Belarus is already moving in. He's taken the capital, and looks like he's moving forth. And so the reason why I took Riga is because Belarus is actually a threat to us. He's one of the highest level players in the whole map, and we just don't want him to have any coastal lands with a city on it. And so I moved to take Riga before he could take it. And then my ally had already taken the capital of Estonia. So that's where we're starting out. It's pretty small gains, but it's a strategic one to stop Belarus from getting any coastal lands. Now, of course, it's always dependent on your situation for the players that you're playing against. So going forward and looking at the coalitions, you can basically see who's active. Of course, coalitions and people go inactive over time. The coalition that's the biggest threat to us is this one that's headed up by Turkey, and it has Turkey, Poland, Serbia, and Romania. That is the coalition in our direct area. There's other coalitions around as well. There's of course always the bigger one with China, Russia, Canada, and United States. There's almost every game I join, there's always a coalition with the big nations and they team up. It's also a matter of time before some of those guys go AI. Given that Belarus, he's not in that coalition in Europe, but he's at the highest level, we're kind of focusing our efforts to just suppress him, at least geographically. And then Poland is a little bit of a threat to me, of course, because he's right over the, you could throw a stone at him from Sweden, basically, and just keeping an eye on him. Serbia, his ally, is moving up more north if I change the colors here. So here you can see that Poland, Romania, and Serbia are already moving east and south into these areas and taking Hungary and moving closer to Austria and other countries. So they're already on the move. So we have to be a little bit diligent and know that eventually they're going to run out of land and we're probably going to end up in a war with them eventually. For Russia, we were going to go to war with them, but we've actually teamed up with some other countries as Kazakhstan and Mongolia are in a coalition. They're of course not in our alliance, but that's diplomacy. You can talk to other players and suggest, hey, do you want to attack this country, and we'll have peace with you. So that's what we're doing right now. We're kind of focusing on the area of Belarus, Poland, the Baltic states. I believe Norway's eventually going to take Denmark for a little small gain, and then maybe move into Germany eventually for his cities. In terms of research, I don't have much. It's only day 2, but I do have the mechanized infantry level 1 researched. I do plan to do the tank destroyer, do plan to do the mobile artillery, no helicopters. I do have the strike fighter research level 1, and I will get either the destroyer or the corvette. I need to get a navy just very soon to start getting a perimeter. It's just good to have some ships on your perimeter along your beaches early game, because you never know if you're going to get some of these players from Poland or Germany, even the UK, that are just going to go straight for your country across the ocean and attack your cities. You want to have some good protection on your waters to take out those ground units while they're very weak in their transport unit boats out there in the water. That is a layout, guys. Not too much to talk about, but wanted to get this series started for you. Just let me know in the comments if you have any questions or what you guys have for this nation of Sweden in general, and looking forward to the next video. See you guys next time.